I want to welcome everybody and thank you for taking time to be with here today. This is I believe, the fifth annual general meeting of the Van Atlantic Society. We started where did we start? In Moncton at the FIFA Women's World Championships, and we've evolved now through a Briar and some ECMAs, and we're here today in the COVID world of being on Zoom. My name is Seamus O'Keefe, and for those who don't know me, I'm the chair of the board of directors of the Van Atlantic Society. With your approval, I shall preside as chair of the meeting, and I shall ask Stephanie Turner, who is the engagement and support coordinator for the organization, to act as secretary of this meeting. Stephanie Turner will act as scrutineer to report on the number of members present at the meeting and to compute the votes on any ballots cast at this meeting. A couple of housekeeping basic items that we need before we begin. I want to remind you that this meeting is being recorded. Motions will be set forth and seconded using the chat feature, and the polling feature will be used to seek approval from the membership. A friendly reminder that only members of the event site can vote. If anybody has any issues on using the chat or the polling, just let us know. It should be pretty self-evident. The notice of this meeting has been sent to all members, and the copies of related materials are available in the AGM package sent to you digitally.
Oh, it's my turn. The scrutiny report shows that there are 23 people present and 15 voting that are authorized to cast a ballot.
Thank you, Stephanie. Since the requisite quorum of members is present, I declare this meeting is duly constituted for the transaction of business. I'm now looking for approval of the agenda. The agenda for the meeting is in your AGM package. May I please have a motion to accept the agenda? I see some hands up. I think we need to use our chat function.
Yeah, the little chat feature, just because I can't see everybody.
And I don't know if you can see it in your screen, because all I'm seeing, okay.
There we go. Chat feature. Lovely. Aaron and Tanya
Motion
move.
by.
Yep. Motion by Aaron Kennedy.
Seconded by.
Don Allen.
Any discussion? All in favor?
And
I'll put my hand up old school.
there we go. So you should see a poll there really quickly. And all in favor.
Any objections?
Nope.
Thank you. I declare the agenda as approved. Now, this is an event I wasn't at, unfortunately, last year. It was in the middle of a pre-application, but the approval of the minutes of the annual general meeting on May 3rd, 2019 in Charlottetown, PEI. Oh. All right. One of my doctor, one of many. The minutes of the 2019 annual general meeting are included in your meeting package. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? Motion by?
By Laurel.
Laurel Lee, seconded by?
Tanya.
Tanya Hewitt. Any discussion? All in favor?
All in favor and none against.
No objections. Thank you. I declare the minutes of the 2019 annual general meeting as approved. Now on to the chair organization report. The first order of business is the chair's organization report. I'm not going to read it. It's included in your package. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but I do want to touch on a couple things. The initial mandate when I came in the chair and working with our board at the time was the establishment of a membership. And I'm happy to say, given the times that we've gone through, we were able to establish the membership. And then now being somewhat on hold, the groundwork has been laid, and we have a package and benefits that we're currently evolving. And to this date, I believe we have, by what you can see, there's 14 in Nova Scotia, 20 in PEI, 4 in New Brunswick, 1 in Newfoundland, and the rest of Canada is 1. Good, representation across Atlantic Canada. We're encouraged by the direction we're heading. We have a little bit of a hiccup, in this, obviously in 2020, but we're headed in the right direction. And I'm happy to say the board has worked hard to get to this point, and we continue to evolve that over time. Second for us, outside the membership, Stephanie, there we go. We continue. We're as an organization, we're in infancy. We're 6.5 years old. We're compared to somebody like the CSTA or Sport Tourism Canada, which are celebrating 20 years. We're into number 6, so we're still evolved. We're still growing. We're still having to prove ourselves to within our industry and evolve as we go. And we have little hiccups along the way, but I'm happy to say that there's the future does look good. We are connecting on all platforms through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and through our website, which continues to be our main platform for disseminating information amongst our members and throughout our organization. And last but not least, our membership. There's a quarterly newsletter that goes out. Kudos to Stephanie, who is our editor-in-chief, who brings us together. And we've gotten feedback on all quarters, all areas of Atlantic Canada. We do everything, as you may know, from facility reports to speak to an expert to updates on events. And it's been well received. And we're always looking for input. So certainly if you want a message or story to share with us, by all means, reach out to Stephanie. So just to further summarize and conclude my report, we're headed in the right direction. I think we had some financial struggles in the first year getting started. We've overcome that. The hard work of the board has put us in a good position financially. We're ability to make some decisions now that we were able to make when we're cash strapped. We have a start of a relationship with a co, and I think that's our biggest priority going forward is for us and that organization to get on page and understand them to realize what the economic value of hosting events in Atlantic Canada can mean to the economy. And I think that's incumbent on the new board coming in to maintain that relationship and to grow it and go a little bit deeper. I would like to acknowledge, and I believe Grant is on this call, the work that's being done by the task force, bouncing back. They're doing some great work. We're well represented by Atlantic Canadian members from Jillian Somers to Wayne Long, to Sheena McCrae, to Neil Alderson. You're doing great work, and we commend you and thank you on behalf of Atlantic Society. And we look forward to the following report. And I think it'll give us the onus to come out of this stronger and better than ever. And finally summarize, there's been some new blood that have been creeping into our organization, which is great. I see 4 new people have put their name forward for board positions. That's great. Hopefully we'll get a position. There's, every position is contested. And I'd like to thank you guys for volunteering, put your name for win or lose. That we appreciate, and hopefully we can use you in some type of capacity. Having said that, my chair's report for 2019-2020. Now, we'll shift the conversation to Fredericton, New Brunswick, and the finance report. The next term of business is the finance report and the presentation of the Atlantic Society operating results for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2019. The report will be presented by Bobby Dupree, Treasurer.
Thank you, Seamus. As he said, I'm from a satellite location here in beautiful Fredericton, New Brunswick today. It's a little overcast, but we'll get through it. Just to give a highlight of the financial report for the 2019 fiscal season, the Event Atlantic Society fiscal year closed on a positive note as we reported a net surplus of $8,967.18, which is being reported today, which is up from our closing from 2018 of $1,658 and change. The Event Atlantic Society income statement showed positive returns predominantly attributable to the membership program launched at the 2019 AGM. Grants and contributions also played a key role in the positive outcome for the Event Atlantic Society in 2019. So going down through some key notes from 19, as we mentioned, we had $5,770 in membership fees, which, Seamus just reported on quickly in regard to where they're from. Our conference revenues were just over $11,000, as well as our grants and contributions were $19,000 plus. These all played a key role in regard to the continued growth and opportunities for Event Atlantic. Going down through, just kind of highlighting on a high level of our expenses, we're not exactly big spenders when it comes to expenses. However, in regard to our accounting and legal, it's basically just our book fees from 2018. Our administration costs are Stephanie, who was an absolute wonderful executive director, so definitely worth it. Advertising comes down to our web fees and our printing costs. Businesses and licenses, basically self-explanatory, as well as our interest and bank charges. Office expenses basically comes down to our Zoom subscription, which we're all enjoying today, our online calendar expenses, and just general office supplies as well. PayPal fees, self-explanatory. Courier and postage basically just looks after our mailbox renewal and mail forwarding. And then we have travels and meals, which included outreach missions as well as inboard meeting expenses for the board itself. So all in all, the Event Atlantic Society has continued to see continuous growth financially as we grow our roots here. As our, as Seamus said earlier, we're in our 5th AGM now. 2020, as we all know, it's been a challenging year. So hopefully we can all bounce back, and Grant's playing a key role in that, as well as numerous different Atlantic partners. I look forward to working with everybody in 2020 and beyond. It's actually a fun group, and the further we get into this, the more we learn, the more we share, the more we collaborate. It's fantastic. And I look forward to working with everybody on the board as well as the membership to create a sustainable future for events and engagement in our communities. So thank you very much for the past year. With that, I will now ask for a motion approving the financial statements for 2019.
Moved by Brody O'Keefe. The seconder. And seconded by Tanya. Do my poll.
This is your chance. If you want to bring down the government, this is not happening in the budget.
And all in favor, none against.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate the time you've put into this and yourself with our bookkeeper and with Stephanie. Next act, term of business, is to pass a resolution on the members approving the acts of the directors and officers of the Event Atlantic Society during the previous year. I'd like to ask a member to make such a motion.
Moved by Jen Shabib. Seconder. By Aaron Kennedy.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
All in favor, none against.
Objections? Thank you. The next item on business is election of the directors. I would like to ask Stephanie Turner to please complete the election of the directors, as I will step aside at this point in time.
The Event Atlantic Society is governed by a board of directors of 8 with a makeup of 2 representatives of 4 provinces. After confirmation of returning board members and review of vacancies, a call for nominations was issued for available board seats. Following the call for nominations, it was determined that an election is required for Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. The positions requiring an election in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia are for a 2-year term, and the position requiring an election in PEI is for a 1-year term. In your AGM package, there are bios for each of the 6 candidates who put their names forward. Before we begin the voting process, I need to ask if there are any other nominations from the floor. Ask that again, if there's any nominations from the floor. And a third time, if there's any nominations from the floor. Okay, with that, we will begin with Newfoundland. Please make your selection. Okay, perfect. I'd like to congratulate Seamus on your successful election.
Thank you.
Moving on to Nova Scotia. Ending there. Congratulations, Jen Shabib, on your successful election. Moving on to PEI. And congratulations, Brody O'Keefe, on your election. I propose the following slate of directors for the next 2 years. So Denis LeBlanc for New Brunswick, Seamus O'Keefe for Newfoundland, Jen Shabib for Nova Scotia, Wayne Long for Prince Edward Island, and Brody O'Keefe for Prince Edward Island for the upcoming year. May I have a motion to approve the proposed slate of directors? Moved by Laurel, and a seconder. Second by Matt Moore. And more poll. All in favor or against? All in favor, no one against. I declare the following individuals: Denis LeBlanc, Seamus O'Keefe, Jen Shabib, Wayne Long, and Brody O'Keefe to be duly elected directors of Event Atlantic Society, commencing this day, July 23rd, 2020. They will be joining returning board members, Bobby Dupree, Tanya Haywood, and Matt Moore.
Thank you, Stephanie. And just for the information of members present on this call, the chair will be elected by the board, which is customary operating for our guys. So at the first meeting of the annual board of members, and we do it on a rotational basis. Wayne Long was the chair for the first 2 years, then myself. So it'll become down decision somewhere between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and the board will decide that in their next meeting. Next up in task, and certainly I want to thank those people who put their name forward again. It's important to have, competition. I think it's healthy, and I think it bodes well for us, Event Atlantic, and this industry going forward. Further business. Is Grant McDonald on this call?
Yes.
Grant McDonald, as I commonly do, I call on people spur of the moment, and I'll see if I can put you on the spot. Maybe give me the 30-second, the group of bouncing back, kind of what the task force has been up to, and kind of what we should be looking forward to in the next kind of 3, 6, 9 months and beyond.
Okay, sure. Thanks for the opportunity to present this, and many of you would have seen the interim report that was sent out by Sport Tourism Canada earlier this week. We're about halfway through the mandate for the task force, and the task force is comprised of 30 members who represent all segments of the sport hosting industry across Canada. And those 30 members are broken down into 4 task teams. Those 4 task teams are dealing with funding, policy, research, and strategy. So the finished product will be delivered by early September, and it will be in the form of a strategy that will help not just members of Sport Tourism Canada, but will help the entire industry to bounce back from COVID-19. Part of that will include some tools that can be used at the local and provincial level, and it will address the 3 phases of the recovery, including the response, which we're now in, the recovery phase when we can start to host again in a modified format, and then resiliency. So we're actually taking the opportunity to reimagine what sport bidding and hosting can look like in the future in Canada. We also know that because of the situation south of the border, that there will be increased opportunities for Canada to host, and we want to make sure that our communities, as well as our sport organizations, our venues, our hotel industry, are all prepared for the increase in business once we are able to, again, bid for and host major sporting events across Canada. So that's a quick update. Happy to take any questions if there are any.
Any questions from members? And thank you, Grant. That was a curveball I threw at you. It was unscripted, but as a true consummate pro you are, that was perfect. A good quick update. Any other further business coming from the floor from anybody who would like any general discussions? Event Atlantic Society, we require input from our members. It's obviously a board, but we represent all 4 Atlantic Canadian provinces. And it's important to have that feedback to guide our decision making as we go forward. One thing I will tell you about, it's a collaboration that is underway right now, and focusing with working with Neil Alderson and Events Nova Scotia, series of webinars. Well, everybody's been to webinar over the last 6 months and probably webinared out, but we're trying to customize and tailor them to what specifically their needs are and what we've seen and react accordingly. And we look forward to seeing that evolve over the next kind of couple of weeks and months as well. Any other further business? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. If there's no further business to come before the meeting, I ask for a motion to conclude the meeting. Motion by
Jennifer Shabib, motion by Jennifer. Need a seconder?
no,
Seconded
I
by
don't.
Laura Lee.
Laura Lee, okay, all in favor? I've never really understood that one, because if we don't agree, we just stay on the phone for. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. I know the new board is going to meet very shortly now. I think there's a separate Zoom meeting. By all means, at any point, we're going to be in Fredericton. We don't know when. Bobby's going to keep the refreshments on ice for a little bit longer. But our plan is to get a New Brunswick as a turn to host, and who knows when they'll be, but certainly pay attention to our social media platforms and our website, and we'll be in touch real soon. Thank you once again.